Today we're looking at the most mana expensive life gain in Magic the Gathering. I'm going to start the show off with the good old Ancestral Dragon. It is a white 4 generic 5/6. It's a dragon. What's wrong with the dragon? Alright, it's got flying, as most dragons do. But whenever you attack, whenever one or more creatures you control attack, you gain a single life point. That's for each attacking creature. So you get in there with a lot of dragons, you're going to be gaining a lot of life. This is what the show is all about here today, people. Gotta make some life gain out of expensive cards. Alright, we're going to move on with, okay, we'll go with Just a Random Age, Aloro. Ageless Ascetic. This is a black, blue, white, 3 generic, 4/5 giant soldier. It's not that it's big, it's also a giant. Literally the creature type. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. And whenever you gain life, you can pay 1. And if you do, you draw a card. And each opponent loses 1 life. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if Aloro Ageless Ascetic is in the command zone, you gain 2 life. This card's insane. What is this last ability, too? It's like Eminence. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Aloro is in the command zone, you gain 2 life. It's like Eminence. If I'm just sitting on my butt doing nothing, I'm still going to trigger. So not only is this a life gain machine, it's actually a card draw machine whenever you gain life. So at my upkeep, also whenever I get incidental life gain from attacking with creatures or triggers, just pay 1 mana and I gain life and it's you know, you could really look at it. It's just another form of like extort, because plus you draw a card. You gain life, they lose life, and you draw a card. This card's an absolute banger. Definitely worth it. Okay, next up. Who did I accidentally skip over? Julian! With the Granny's Payback. Granny's Payback? What's with you in the silver border cards? It's an 8 mana sorcery. You gain life equal to your age. Can that ever be broken? Probably not. R&D comments. Black 1010. Why does a life-gaining card show an old lady killing people? MR 1010 3. We'll fix it in the flavor text. Apparently they did not. Not worth it. Also not legal. Very illegal card. Abzo with the Heroes Remembered. You sus this first? White 6 generic for a sorcery. You gain 20 life. Also, you suspend for 10. What is it worth? Paying a white and waiting 10 turns, or hoping you get to 9 mana to actually cast this thing? I don't think this is worth it. This looks terrible. And it's only well, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's only you gain 20. You know, if it was target player goes to 20, maybe I could get behind that. Because if someone gained infinite life, it's like a way of actually putting them in range of dying. But here, you can gain 20 life. It's not even a whole lot of life. It's basic. It's almost like a little bit more than 2 life per 1 mana spent. It's terrible. Do I count Grizzlebrand? I guess we can count Grizzlebrand. Yeah. Grizzlebrand. Probably not immediately gaining any life, but when you swing into the red zone, you're gonna gain some life because of life link. Do I count that? Sure, we'll count that. We'll count some gigantic life link creatures. One way or another, you're gonna be gaining life. That's the whole idea around here. Life gain decks also have a bunch of life link creatures and so on. Definitely worth it. In fact, this is so worth it, it's banned in all the commander variations. Okay, next up, Timon with the Beacon of Immortality. This is a white 5 generic instant. Double target player's life total. Shuffle Beacon of Immortality into its owner's library. You know what? This is a very creative way of gaining life. And it compounds depending on how much life you have already. You got 40, you basically paid 6 mana for 40 life in 1 shot. You've got 2 life, card's gonna suck. You know, it may not be so good if your life is on the lifeline. All right, next up we got Medusa with the Blightkeeper. Blightkeeper, a black 1/1. This is a very cheap card. Disqualified. It's gotta be 6 mana or higher. 6 CMC. Your little Ted with Corrupt. A classic. Black 5 generic sorcery. Deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. Make sure you got that Urborg, everyone. You gain life equal to the damage dealt. Very good card. It's not bad. It's been reprinted. It used to be competitive. It used to be a competitive card. Now it's sort of crap, to be honest, but still fine. Does it cost more than... Why would I even read this? It's 1 mana. Look, I understand it's got this big ability. Disqualified. The CMC must be big, not the activated ability. That's for another show. I laid down the law here. The law says CMC. Darth Plagueis, the Wise. Celestial Mantle. Darth Plagueis would know everything about what's Celestial. Okay, it's a white, 3 generic aura. Oh my goodness. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3. And whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life. Double! That seems like such a supreme jank card. Video keeps freezing? Oh, that sucks. My internet's been a little jank lately. I don't know what it's going on with the internet, but the internet has been a little jank, to be honest. Hopefully, for everyone who just listens to these things like a podcast, I hope it's not going to be too bad of a show. Why doesn't it count that the activation cost is high? CMC means converted mana cost, not activated abilities. It means the cost of the card. So it gotta be big, expensive cost to play this thing. Gotta be big. Lifegain is a suboptimal tactic. Well... tell that to Lifegain players. Steven, one with the multiverse. We got a blue, 6 generic enchantment. Blue has Lifegain? I mean, look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play land cards and cast spells from the top of your library. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. That has nothing to do with Lifegain. Got another disqualification. How did you come? Most expensive MTG Lifegain. How the hell did this end up being on the show? Is this the right card? One with the multiverse. Maybe you just thought of another card. Something very similar. Okay, we'll move on with David Peru. The Volatile. This is a very big mana Mardu card. Black, white, red, 2 generic for a 7/7 Elder Dragon. Flying lifelink, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Peru unless you pay Mardu. Ooh, I like that. Peru the Mardu. That was no mistake, folks. And then when our poor Peru dies, it deals 7 damage to each non-legendary creature. Legends have... look how big this thing is. It's funny. 7 tiny soldiers can take on this big Elder Dragon. Sorry enough for not reading the title. I accept your apology. Inspired Ultimatum. We got a white, red, blue sorcery. Target player gains 5 life. An Inspired Ultimatum deals 5 damage to any target. Then you draw 5 cards? That's absolutely nuts. This is like a super over-glorified Lightning Helix that also is... it's like an expensive Lightning Helix while also being sort of a cheap Ancestral Recall. You're gaining a lot of cards off of this for the life gain. What is this? Like, okay, so we have like basically 2 Lightning Helixes. That's like 4 mana, and then you draw 5 cards off of the last 3. Very interesting card design. At sorcery speed. Okay, next up. Julio's asking, have we done the Overwhelming Splendor? Nope. Show just started. We have a white 6 generic. This has nothing to do with life gain either, right? Champ player loses all abilities, have base power, toughness 1. Of course we have not done Overwhelming Splendor. It has nothing to do with life gain. I didn't know this show was complicated. I didn't know this was a complicated show. I thought it was pretty straightforward, to be honest. We've had more complicated shows based on the title. Okay, we got Doer, Reverse the Sands. Do we count that? I hope. Okay, white, 6 generic, sorcery. Redistribute any number of players' life totals. I can count that. It's like, it's people are really gaming the system here. Like, really gaming the system now, but I'll count it. Redistribute any number of players' life totals. Each of those players gets 1 life total back. Oh, okay, so you can't put them to 0. Otherwise, it'd be instant death. But I mean, it would be fair to just play this and put everyone to 1 and you get the rest, right? There's like no other option. They might as well have just said that on the text by itself. Okay, we got Corey, Blessed Wind from Prophecy. Bless that wind. The 9 mana target's life total becomes 20. So depending on your circumstances, if you need, if you're at like 1 life, you gain your life. It's like you gained life. However, if you're at 40 life, then this thing is like putting you straight down to 20. It's like lightning helix, or sorry, it's lightning helix. It's either dealing damage or gaining you life, depending on the circumstances. Rin Shora with Plane-Wide Celebration. Celebrate. Come on. Okay, green, 5 generic sorcery. Choose 4. Oh, you may choose the same mode more than once. I was a little confused. Choose 4 and there's 4 modes. Well, why don't you just make me do all of them? Okay, we can create a 2/2 citizen creature token that's all colors, or you can return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. You could proliferate, or you can gain 4 life. So that means I have the option to gain like a bazillion life off of this. And by bazillion, I mean 16. We can gain 16 life. I don't say bless you when someone farts. That's weird. You should try it. You should try it sometime, Jess. See what happens. Someone just rips one. Bless you. It'll be a great conversation starter in the future. And I said bless you when they farted. It's probably people will laugh. Okay, next up, we'll move on to... I don't know who the hell got something or not at this point. Kano with a Zakama. The Primal Calamity. It's a weird 9 mana, 9/9 Elder Dinosaur. It's the dinosaur of all dinosaurs. It got 3 heads. That's how old it is. Okay, Vigilance, Reach, Trample. When Zakama Primal Calamity enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control. Then it's got the red 3 mana. Sorry, red 2 generic ability deals 3 damage to target creature. Green 2 generic ability, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Or white 2 generic ability, you gain 3 life. So if you can get infinite life. Actually, if you have infinite mana, you can deal infinite. Oh, you can't deal infinite damage to somebody, but you can gain infinite life. And that's the key around here. We got the dangerous one with the first super chat of the day, the Party Tree. Bet you forgot you gain life with it. Well, to be fair, oh, this is just the Great Henge. But you know what? You're right. I did forget that I gained life off of this. The green 7 generic. Spell that costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. You can tap and add double green, and if you do, you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. That's right, you do gain some of the life off of that. I don't know how much you need that life after you've played a 9 mana spell. Everyone's admitting they didn't read the title. Like, what did you read? What did you come in here with? You just saw some other people's suggestions and just try to understand the show based on context? Okay, I want to redeem myself with Approach of the Second Sun. This is a white 6 generic sorcery. It saw a lot of tier 1 play. If it was cast from your hand, you cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game. You win the game! Okay, and also otherwise put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. Great stuff. Toilet Duck, did you get one yet? Professor Onyx. Oh yeah, because of Magecraft, we got a 6 mana Planeswalker, 5 loyalty. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Talk about storming off even. This is Storm squared. Professor Onyx. She knows her math. Especially since that, what is it? Liliana, the Last Hope, can like double your zombies every turn. She knows how to, she knows exponentiality. Okay, +1. You lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. -3. Each opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. -8. Each opponent may discard a card, and if they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. Oh my goodness. Next up. We just did this one, Tommy Siddons. We just did this one, Medusa. People are just suggesting cards we just seen. We got Islarf with Disciple of Frail Eyes. It has 2 sides. Thank you for letting me know. Just in case I just... So you're telling me there's no life gain on the front? Oh, no, there is, though. Okay, 6 mana for a 3/3. ETB, you may sack another creature, and if you do, you gain life. And draw X cards, where X is that creature's power. But on the other side is the Garden of the Frail Eyes. As Garden of Frail Eyes enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. Oh, this is... Oh, it's sorry, it doesn't transform. This is simply a land. If you don't enter the battlefield, you tap out a green. Great card, then. I love these bolt lands. Chows! Belladross. Witherbloom. Another Elder Dragon. A lot of these dragons, they gain life. They breathe fire, but they also gain some life. Okay, we have a green-black 5 generic 4/4 Elder Dragon flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Pay 10 life. Untap all lands you control. Activate only once each turn. Gouge that life gain. So hold on, we create a 1/1 black token. Oh, so the token has to die and we gain the life. Gotta multiply them tokens. The Abyssal Exalted Angel. Oops. Exalted Anger. Exalted Angel. 6 mana for a 4/5 angel. Flying. And when it deals that much damage, you gain that much life. That's just a fancy way of saying life gain. But it is a little bit different. And that is important because it's like a thing where if you deal the damage first, and then you gain the life. See, like life gain, it's simultaneous. You deal the damage, you gain the life at the same time. This is like delayed life gain, which can suck sometimes. But then if you put life gain on Exalted Angel, then it's like you gain double the life. Islarf asking the real questions out here. Why does Exalted Angel not have Exalted? Wizards screwed up! That's my answer. Or actually, it's probably a really old card before Exalted existed. Funny enough. Joshua with the Heroes Remembered. Gotta remember them heroes. Oh, we did this one! Oh, I'm so sorry, Henrik. Give me another one. Give me another. We'll look at another one. Until then, I'm going to donate this one to Jess with Feud Killers Verdict. 6 mana. You gain 10 life. Then if you have 5 or more life than an opponent, put a 5/5 white giant creature token onto the battlefield. I like that! You gain a lot of life. It's basically 6 mana, effectively like 6 mana, gain 10 life, put a like 5/5 in play, and you gain 10 life. I like it. Pretty good. Okay, next up. Did Apocalypse get one? Shadow Grange Archfiend. Shadow Grange. 7 mana for an 8/4. When Shadow Grange Archfiend enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to that creature's power among creatures sacrificed this way. What does that mean? They ate them? I give you the sacrifice, a giant creature. You may eat it. I may eat it. I'm the Planeswalker. I gain the life after anyhow. Oh, and it has also Madness, 3 life. Oh, sorry. Pay 8 life. You gotta pay life to get life in this world, and also pay 3 mana. Not bad, not bad at all. Elixir with the chant of the V2 Ghazi. A lot of chance of. Where's the chant of the V2 Ghazi? There it is. Chant of the V2 Ghazi, a white 6 generic instant with Convoke. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1. Sorry, why am I reading Convoke? Okay, prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. You gain life equal to the damage prevented this way. I prevent your damage, and I absorb its power in the form of life. Okay, hold on. Abzo wants Archangel's Light. Archangel's Light. Hans Vader, Nikachu, your webcam is freezing from time to time. You know, it's my internet. I can see. It's like, it's barely alive. It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router or moving closer to it. I am as close as I possibly can, damn it. It's like, I'm not even using Wi-Fi. I'm connected straight to the thing. Okay, Archangel's Light. White 7 generic sorcery. You gain 2 life for each card in your graveyard. Then shuffle your graveyard into your library. Oh my goodness, that could be a lot. That could be a lot of life, and you can So if there was a mill player, a dirty mill player that milled your mythic and rare cards, you can put them straight back into your library. Cam is like, yeah, but why put it in the deck when you can just put any other Eldrazi since most of them are better? I have no idea. Oh, I thought that was in reference to this card. Thought it was in reference to this card. Alright, next up. Joshua, you got like another card for us? Because you suggested a card that we did already. Catch up! Have you done Angel's Mercy? Nope. Please, please don't kill me, Angel. Okay, white 2 generic instant. You gain 7 life. Yeah, instead of kill you, showed you mercy. The cameo, the Abundant Maw. This is an 8 mana, 6/4 Eldrazi Leech. Emergent for a black 6 generic. When you cast Abundant Maw, target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Ooh, this is a cast trigger. Can't do squat about it. Also has a merge. Overall, I don't think this is worth it though. You have to like sack a creature. I don't know any creatures I'd want to sack for this thing. I would rather just pay full retail for this Lightning Helix on a Eldrazi. If that's even an Eldrazi, it's apparently an Eldrazi Leech. It used to be a tiny little leech, and then the Eldrazi took it over, and then now it's a big swarming lumpy thing. Big Pogger, the OG combo card, Spike Feeder. That is, I already know that's 3 mana. Disqualified. It's gotta be 6 mana or larger. Sphinx's Revelation. I'm not counting that one. It could be 6 mana. But it also could be 4. Could also be 3. Okay, Hexanort, Tezzeret. Master of the Bridge. Is there a bridge? Oh, look what they did to Tezzeret in Bloomborough. They turned him to a dirty rat. Okay, we have a black-blue 4 generic 5 loyalty Tezzeret. Creatures and planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. +2, Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control, and you gain X life. -3, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And -8, exile the top 10 cards of your library. Put all artifact cards from among them onto the battlefield. So we got that life gain clause over in the first one. What on deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of artifacts you control. That's insane! This card's great. Definitely worth it. 100%. Next. Teamer had the best emerge creatures. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. Next up. Islarf with Philidor Sovereign. Does this gain... Oh, it does gain life. It has lifelink. White, 4 generic for a 4/6 vigilance with lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. Has anyone ever lost this thing? They just went like, I don't know, artifact, Felidar Sovereign, turn 1, and then the players just looked at each other, thinking, okay, you know what? You know what I would do in this situation? I would be like, can anyone do anything about this? Anybody? Okay, you win the game, shuffle your damn cards back into your deck, draw another hand. We're gonna keep our cards, because, like, this game just started anyway. There's, like, absolutely no point for us to play this out and then reshuffle everything in. That's how I'd resolve it, honestly. Yeah, okay, you win the game, congratulations. But you shuffle up and draw another 7 cards. And it better not have Felidar Sovereign again, or we're gonna be really sus. Turn 3. That's still strong. Means they got it out on turn 2. Orvitas with the Ancestral Dragon. It's the most painfully mediocre and underwhelming Ancestor Dragon. Ancestor. Oh, I started the show with this. No, we can't do that one. David with Shard of the Nightbringer. This is an 8-mana card. It's an 8/8. It's a Satan. Flying and drain life. That's literally a card name. When Shard of the Nightbringer enters the battlefield, if you cast it, target opponent lose half their life rounded up. You gain life equal to life lost this way. It's actually the ability is the same as the card, basically. I think it has a similar nature. You drain life. All right, they lose, you gain. Dangerous one. As a root. What the hell does that mean? As a root channeler. Ramp and self-enabler. Okay, 6 mana for a 4/6 with reach. Creature spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. So basically you can... That is very interesting. So if you have anything that triggers a lot of life gain, you basically can just play your creatures for free. I think that's a cool card. That is very cool. Next up... Okay, Picameo with the Arctic Nishoba? Arctic Nishoba. You probably don't get a lot of age counters on it, but who knows. Okay, we have a green 5 generic 6/6 cat warrior with trample. And it's got cumulative upkeep, green or a white. But who cares about that? When Arctic Nishoba is put into a graveyard from play, you gain 2 life for each age counter on it. That's all we care about. So we're gonna get, we're gonna get a lot of life as long as we keep this thing around. So 2 life, then 4, then 6, 8. This thing keeps cashing out. That being said, I think it sucks. This is very expensive, and it's also a very slow life gain. I guess if you have infinite mana, then I guess it's okay. I mean, you gotta win the game somehow at some point, right? Okay, Orvitas. Orchard Elemental. 6 mana for a 2/2 with the Council's Dilemma. This Elemental. When Orchard Elemental enters the battlefield, starting with you, each player votes for Sprout or Harvest. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Orchard Elemental for each Sprout vote. You gain 3 life for each Harvest vote. This is terrible. This is, like, the Council is not going to give you what you want. If you need life gain, they'll be like, oh yeah, just put all the +1/+1 counters on this thing. So when each player votes for Sprout or Harvest, I mean, I guess you can be the one gaining life, but then ultimately, if everyone just says put counters on this thing, it just becomes a 6 mana 8/8, which by all means is not particularly dangerous. All right, we got Steve Cooper with Reverse the Sands. And a donate. Oh, and you wanted to eat turn. We did Reverse the Sands. Okay, so that's going to be a donation, unfortunately. Then we'll do Eternity Vessel. I did my research, people. There's a lot of cards that say you can gain life. Okay, Eternity Vessel is a 6-mana artifact. ETB. ETB with X charge counters on it, where X is your life total. Alright, let's hope our life total is 40. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have your life total become the number of charge counters on Eternity Vessel. With extra, where X is your life total. Holy crap! That is bonkers! So basically, if you can get this out on a high life total, you are like never going down like all that much, right? So let's say you can get this out at a fresh 40 life. Then you're just going to be at 40 life every single time you play a land. Your life total will become the number of charge counters on Eternity Vessel. Just make sure you don't do this in respect. There better not be no Vampire Hex Mage on the battlefield to remove all the counters from the Eternity Vessel. Just make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, this is a complete bonkers card. Great card. You can also play a fetch land, go to 40, pass the turn, and if your life total just gets low enough, just crack the fetch land, go back to 40. Great card. All right, we're gonna take a look at. We have to give those donations away, but before we do that, we gotta thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. This is the place I would get my Bloomborough singles for my. Do I need to get anything for Commander? Might have to get something for Standard. I might have to play Standard one day. Not to mention, also, Deal of the Week from Fusion Gaming Online. 15% off Modern Horizons 3 singles and sealed product. Don't forget, were you holding out on Modern Horizons 3 because you didn't know what you needed to get? Well, you're in luck, because now it's 15% off at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though, to get an additional 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. The ability to play any format you want on the digital client Magic Online. Play Pioneer, Commander, Modern, Standard, Vintage, and more. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_25K. I like that. That's a nice round number. Sounds like 25,000. But it's 25K. Please do not write 25,000. The coupon code, it won't work. It won't work, damn it. All right, next up. King Ginger is here. Beacon of Immortality. Did we do this one? I don't think so. 6 mana, instant, double target player's life total. Then you shuffle the Beacon of Immortality into its owner's deck. So you can do this again. You know what's the trick here? Have one card left in your deck, and it's the Beacon of Immortality. Just keep that deck. Will just you're not gonna lose that deck. You're gonna have that deck for forever. Just keep doubling your life total. We keep doubling. Next up, Hans Vader says it's a May. You can choose not to change your life total if the charge counters get removed. That's correct. In reference to the last card. Jest with the Kokusho. The Evening Star. 6 mana for a 5/5 Dragon Spirit with flying. And when Kokusho dies, each opponent loses 5 life. And you gain life equal to the life lost this way. The more players that lose life, the better this thing happens. Nikachu at 25K subscribers when? Hopefully soon. Yeah, we need to get to 25K because I randomly got a 25K Mana Traders coupon code. I figured the chat was going to make my chat disappear, so I sent the super chat. Oh, no! But you know what? It's still a super chat. It's going to be a super chat for somebody else, King Ginger. Who's it going to go to? We'll give to David, Providence. Yeah, let's work. Jonathan's really supporting the show. Let's work on half the people here hitting that like button first. Yeah, we gotta have the like button. We did Granny's Payback. That was a BS card. There wasn't even a real one when I got there. Okay, we have a white 5 generic sorcery. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. And if you do, at the beginning of your upkeep, your life total becomes 26. That would be terrible in Commander. This is the power of prayer, regardless of who is listening. But it would be good in one-on-one Magic. Caden! Has the Rise of the Second Sun been done? I think we did Rise. Remember, lifelink creatures count. Rise of the Second... is there another Second Sun card? You mean Approach of the Second Sun? I think you meant Approach. Yeah, we did that one. Oh, Ugin does gain life. I was like, Ugin the Spirit Dragon from Darth Plagueis. The Wise. Very wise. Went deep on this card. 8 mana for a 7 loyalty Ugin. +2, deal 3 damage to any target. -X, exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. -10, you gain 7 life. Draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. That definitely works. Bell, did we do Archon of Cruelty? We actually have not. The 8 mana 6/6 flyer, when it ETBs or attacks, target opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, or loses 3 life. And you get to draw a card and you gain 3 life. Your loss is my gain with Archon of Cruelty. Banovsky with Archangel's Light, the best mythic rare in MTG. That is a very bold statement. I think Oko, Thief of Crowns, might have a word with you. Word with you. We have a white 7 generic sorcery. Oh, I think you were trolling. You were pulling a funny. Okay, you gain 2 life for each card in your graveyard, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. Unfortunately, we actually looked at this card already. We will donate it to Emrakul, the embroidered form, Palaka Worm. It's a green, 4 generic, 7/7 with trample. Enters the battlefield, you gain 7 life. And when it dies, you draw a card. It's not that bad. I like it more than most. Oh, Beanpot's here. Transcendence. I hope, even though I hear I'm lagging, I hope you guys can see the cards. Okay, we have a white 3 generic enchantment. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. And when you have 20 or more life, you do lose the game. But whenever you lose life, you gain 2 life for each 1 life you lost. That is a very weird way to gain life. It is a very, very weird way to gain life. Also, don't lose. So when you have 20 or more life, you lose the game. I don't even know when you want to play this card. Hold on. I'm just trying to think how you make this work. Like, how do we play this and give it to somebody? They have 20 life. They're dead. Okay, next up. Mason with the Vault-Born Raptor. You're not lagging. You're being trolled. Video's good on this end. Audio is good on this end. Green across the board. Okay, that's good. But even my internet says it's crap over here. So it's really, really bad. Vault-Born Raptor? That's what I wrote. Oh, I know. Okay, so you knew what you were talking about, but it was more dinosaur than raptor, right? Okay, 7 mana for a 6/6 dinosaur. Dragons are just dinosaurs with wings. Okay, whenever Vault-Born Tyrant or another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life and draw a card. This is great. And when it dies, if it's not a token, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That's insane. It's a great card. It multiplies. When it dies, it comes back. Okay, Bell. Doomgape. If done, donate. Well, of course, I would. That's exactly what I would do. But we didn't do it. The Gape of Doom. It's like the shortest body of all time. It's all head, no body. This is a hybrid of Golgari, 4 generic. For a 10/10 elemental with trample, at the beginning of your upkeep, sack a creature, and you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. This was in like a dual deck at the time. I owned this card. It was terrible. It was such a sad card. Jay Jones, have we done Verdant Sun's Avatar? Nope. We got a green 5 generic 5/5 dinosaur avatar. A lot of dinosaurs on this show. I didn't know the dinosaurs were so good with life gain. Why did they go extinct? Okay, Verdant Sun's Avatar or another creature enters the battlefield under your control. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. That's gonna be a lot of life gain. Orvitas with the poison arrow. I think we did Providence already, Hamad. Okay, we have a black 4 generic sorcery. Destroy any one creature that isn't black. You gain 3 life. Oh, what I guess it makes some sense. The poison arrow. What is it going to do to a zombie? What is it going to do, like, to a vampire? Although I guess there are some, like, there's, like, white vampires out there, I think. There's also some red vampires, weirdly enough. They can be poisoned. We did Providence, right? That's the one, like, you go to 26 life. Mike the Red with Celestial Mantle. Oh, did we do this one? Celestial. Yeah, we did this one. Great card. King Ginger is back and better than ever. The Bounteous Kieran. We're in that point of the show where we gotta go deep. We gotta go deep to cards that, like, almost no one's ever heard of before. It's 7 mana for a 4/4 Kieran Spirit with flying. Whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, you may gain life equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Yeah, that's it. It's 4/4. Hold on. Did we do... I have the super chat here. Did we do the Heroes Remembered? Heroes Remembered. Oh yeah, we did that one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what do I have to say about this? Well, if you're in a spirit deck, I guess it's okay. Problem is this is so damn expensive. It's expensive. You get no ETB. You have to wait till next turn to start casting spirits. Most of the spirits are small, by the way, unless you're casting the other, like, spirits, the legendary spirits like Kukusho and so on. But for that, you need to be in like a 5-color deck. What a weird deck you've probably created. We got Knight Zera, Faithful Mending. Isn't this a 2-mana card? Oh, look it up to buzz you. Faithful Mending. Yep. Gotta be 6 mana or larger, Knight. Gotta be 6 mana or larger, Knight Zera. Merciless with Oloro, the Ageless Ascetic. Oops. Oh, we did this one. Sorry about that, Merciless. We gotta go deeper. I thought Oloro was actually broken. I think this card's actually insane. It's probably the strongest card today. Absolute nonsense. Thought Providence meant you went to Rhode Island. You would think that, wouldn't you? We did Blessed Wind. You were there, Restion Serpentine. I'm pretty sure you were there. Marco with Brazella, the Voice of Nightmare. How we get this? I don't know. It's a 9/10 Eldrazi Angel, but once we get there, it's a flying first strike vigilance lifelink creature. Your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less. Imagine trying to play this in Paper Magic. Like, you've got these 2 cards combined. This was an awful mechanic. I don't like these types of cards where you have to combine them and create, like, you know, you look at one half of the card, you don't even know what the other half is. Imagine I ask my opponent, I'd like to see what this card is, and I look on the other side, and all it says is Brazella, Voice of Nightmares. I'm like, I have no idea what the other side does. No clue whatsoever. Next up, let's go with Manuel Azor, the Lawbringer. Blue, 2, white, 2 generic for a 6/6 Sphinx with flying. When Azor the Lawbringer enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. Sorry, fellas. You get nothing. Your counter spells are useless. Whenever Azor attacks, you may pay blue, white X. If you do, you gain X life and draw X cards. They literally put Sphinx's Revelation on a creature, a legendary creature. So if you love Sphinx's Revelation, this is probably your commander. We got Steve Cooper, Cami of the Honored Dead, and a donation for chat. Thanks so much, Steve Cooper. Cami of the Honored Dead. A lot of Camis out there. This is a white 5 generic for 3/5 spirit, flying. Whenever Kami of the Honored Dead is dealt damage, you may gain that much life. And it's got Soul Shift 6. Oh, that ability is a raider. When this is put into a graveyard from play, you may return target spirit card with converted mana cost 6 or less from your graveyard to your hand. All things considered, that's not a bad ability. I mean, you actually get like some value out of it, one way or another. Does gaining negative life count? Grizzlebrand? No. But Grizzlebrand did count, because it has life gain in general. Oh, Zob with the Vein Ripper. With Zob, this is a donation from Steve Cooper. Vein, I should just look up Ripper. It's V-E-I-N, I think. Yeah, V-E-I-N. We have a black, 3 generic, 6/5 vampire assassin. Flying ward, sacrifice a creature, which is very difficult to do. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So even if you want to kill this thing, ward triggers first, you sack a creature and you've already lost 2 life and they gain 2 life. It's like impossible to not get a value out of this thing. One of the card that's dominating Pioneer right now, just dominating. Caden locks it in Life Chanter. White 5 generic 4/6 Elephant Cleric. When locks it in Life Chanter enters the battlefield, you may have your life total become the total toughness of creatures you control. That's interesting. 6 mana. Life Chanter gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is your life total. So we buff up our life total, then we buff up the Loxodon. Anyone not get a card yet? Don't think Jay got a card yet. Providence would count, but we've done that 3 times now. Would you like to do it a 4th time? Jay, would you like to do it a 4th time? Dinglebag, Hill Giant. Herd Gorger. 6 mana for a 7/6 giant. Enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. This is terrible. This is a very underwhelming giant. We did Corrupt Station Disaster. The Abyss Soul with True Conviction, Lifelink plus Double Strike is value, no? Mix an Ageless Entity and the Lightning Greaves to piss off your play group. True Conviction. This is interesting. Okay, 6 mana, enchantment. Creatures you control have Double Strike and Lifelink. This is fantastic. I like this card. It probably doesn't technically gain life immediately, but it will eventually. Okay, we got Christopher B with Absorb. I must say, I think a lot of... Does anyone even know about this card? I think a lot of people would love this card. That's a great way of gaining a crap load of life in a very short order. Okay, next up. Absorb V. It is a black 6 generic sorcery. Target player loses 4 life, and you gain the 4 life. Also has basic land cycling. So, I mean, hey, it's 7 mana. It's a clunker. If you need some land drops, you just spend 2 mana, you go get them basic lands. Station Disaster with a Kiss of Death. Didn't know Kiss of Death was so expensive. 6 mana, sorcery. Kiss of Death deals 4 damage to your opponent, you gain 4 life. This is like the same card as this one. Except this is like 7 mana. It's got basic land cycling. Interesting. Slightly worse Corrupt overall. Slightly worse Corrupt. Zane with Zedru. Is this like a popular commander? The Great-Hearted. Ooh, 4 mana. Disqualified. Must be 6 or greater. 6 or greater, my coffee crew. Knight Zera, Shadowgrange Archfiend. Oh, we did this one. A lot of repeats on this show. We gotta go deeper. Deeper, coffee crew. Mason with New Atraxa. Yeah, that counts, actually. The Grand Unifier. This is 7 mana for a 7/7 Phyrexian Angel with Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. And when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. And for each card type, you may put a card of that type among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You know what we have not done once? We don't have a single ultimatum on this show. There isn't a single ultimatum, and I know damn well those ultimatums, they gain life. 100%. King Ginger with the Ancestor Dragon. We did that one. We did Ancestor Dragon. Sorry about that, King Ginger. You're not sniping yourself, but like you just really I think that's how he started the show. We're gonna donate that one to Andrew Asterion the Decadent. Poor King Ginger, like this is 6 mana. Okay, this is a almost photorealistic picture. We have a black-white 4 generic 4/4 Vampire Elf Rogue. Death Touch and Lifelink, and at the beginning of your end step, choose one. You can feed. Target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn. Or you have friends. You gain life equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Hans Vader says, why does a 7-power thing need Death Touch? Sometimes you never know. So that it can kill a giant Eldrazi. Gotta sting him. Emrakul, another worm. It's a life gain. And if you are at less than 7, Elder Scale Worm. You like worms, do you, Emrakul? Do you like tentacly things? Okay, so green, 4 generic, 7/7 worm, trample. ETB. If your life total is less than 7, your life total becomes 7. That's not a lot of life. As long as you have 7 or more life damage that would reduce your life total to less than 7, reduces it to 7 instead. This is the most abysmally pathetic life gain card on the show today. You can gain at best 6 life if you're at 1. You may not even gain that much life at all. Timothy with the Steel Seraph. We got a 6 mana. 5/4 with Prototype, so you can cast it for white 1 generic for a 3/3. Now, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of Flying Vigilance or Lifelink until end of turn. I like this card, especially since I can play it for a lot less. We did Approach of the Second Sun, Jay. We've done that one. Steve Cooper says, Atraxa is the Phyrexian Praetor's pet project as well. Ah, I see. Toileduck. Soon's Intervention. King Ginger, you gotta give us another one. You give us another one. Okay, we got 6 mana. Choose 1 or more. Okay, I'll just choose all, right? We got a 2/2 White Knight. We seek a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less. What the hell does that mean? Do I pull it out of the game or something? Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or target player gains 3 life. Seek? What does Seek mean? Oh yeah, I love it when Gatherer gives me no info about this card. It's an online card, who cares? Okay, Manual with Dragon Lord Dramoka. Ah, yes, 6 mana for us, 5/7. And it can't be countered. It's got Flying and Lifelink, and your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. So while it's my turn, I know you can't do squat. Just sit in your chair. You just watch. It's basically it's Teferi Time Raveler. Only on my turn though. Jess with a Cruel Ultimatum. Is this the only one that gains life? I swear there's more ultimatums that gain life. Red, black, white, blue. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, discards 3 cards, loses 5 life, then you return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw 3 cards, and you gain 5 life. That's a lot of life gain. It's a lot of value, really. It's value all around. Eris. I like Breaker of Creation. I also like that even an island is a colorless permanent. Oh, you do, Eris. We have a colorless, 6 generic, 8/4 Eldrazi. When you cast this spell, you gain 1 life for each colorless permanent you control. Hexproof from each color. And it's got Annihilator too. So hold on, what was the deal? Whenever you cast this spell, you gain 1 life for each colorless permanent you control. Yep, basic lands are colorless, or basic any land are colorless. So what did you say? Basic island? I also like that even an island is a colorless permanent. Islands, plains, mountains, swamps, triomes, dual lands, fetch lands. They're all colorless permanents. Hexproof from each color, that's crazy. But not protection, technically. The Jeskai Ultimatum gains life? I don't know what that's called. Oh, is it Inspired Ultimatum? Inspired? Oh, we saw that one. Sorry, okay, so we actually did see at least one ultimatum on this show. Kano! Phantom Nishiba. Nishoba, I guess. 7 mana for a 0/0 cat beast spirit. It's got trample, though. I love my 0/0 tramplers. But it'll enter the battlefield with 7 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever it deals damage, you gain that much life. If damage would be dealt to Phantom Nishoba, prevent that damage. Remove a +1/+1 counter from it. Not in love with it. I guess it's fine if any damage is dealt to it. Okay, I chump block. Oh no, but it's got trample. Oh, okay. Gotta read the dotted line. King Ginger with the Ancestral Tribute. Oh god, did we do that one too? I don't remember. I think there's a card that's like this that we did. White, 5 generic. You gain 2 life for each card in your graveyard. It's got flashback for a white, 9 generic. So you can get 2 for the price of, well, not exactly 2 for the price of 1. Buy 1, get 1. Sort of not on sale. Basically, after you buy 1, well, the price just jacked up. You can buy 1 from flashback for a lot more. Okay, we got Steve Cooper, patron of the Kitsune, and also a donation to chat. This is a weird fellow. Okay, this is a white 4 generic 5/6. It's got Fox Offering. Did anyone even know that was an ability? You may play this card anytime you could play an instant by sacrificing a fox and paying the difference in mana costs between this and the sacrificed fox. Mana cost includes color. Did Bloomborough like buff this card? I'm just wondering. You can by paying the difference in the mana cost. This is like a very bad emerge. That's what this is. It's like real crap emerge. Whenever a creature attacks, you may gain 1 life. Very bad emerge. Way before emerge even existed. Yes, there was a snake offering too. Does the fox say nothing? I sacrificed him. Yeah, what does the fox say? Well, we'll never know because it got sacrificed to the blood god. You like that? You like the art, huh? Good for you, Eris. Okay, next we'll go with Zope King, Orchard Strider. Green, 4 generic for a 6/4 tree folk. Enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens. Okay. Food tokens gain life. This is a lot of work, though. It's a tree folk. This thing can attack? When trees attack, they just pull their legs out of the ground. Roots and all. Okay, next up, let's look at Hamad with Touch of the Eternal. White 5 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, count the number of permanents you control. You gain life. Sorry, your life total becomes that number. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, this could gain you some life. Could also shrink your life. It's a double-edged sword. I assume we're only going to play this when it's going to benefit us. Stream of Life, isn't that an X mana spell? It is disqualified. There are walking trees, I hear, though. Yeah, I hear. Toilet Duck, Dread's Caress. Okay, 6 mana, instant. You gain 1 life for each creature in play. And if white was spent to play Dryad's Caress, untap all your creatures. Gain 1 life for each creature in play. Includes your opponent's creatures. And if white, so if we pay some white while playing this thing, we untap. We get to surprise attack our opponent. Sorry, surprise block our opponents, I guess. We have more life than they thought. And all of a sudden, we have more blockers than they thought. I think we did the Phantom Nishiba. Pretty sure we did Phantom Nishiba. We definitely did the V2 Gazi. We definitely did Felidar Song. Christopher B, you're late. When you're late, you're just throwing out a bunch of cards we've done already. I'll tell you what we didn't do. We didn't do Chris Bonehead's Izoni. Center of the Web. Is this a spider? It's an elf detective in a web. It is a green-black 4 generic 5/4 elf detective with menace. Now, whenever Izoni enters the battlefield or attacks, it may collect evidence for, and if you do, you create 2 2/1 black and green spider creature tokens with menace and reach. Sacrifice 4 tokens, surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, then you gain 2 life. Well, we gain the life. That's all that matters around here. We did Archon of Cruelty, Hexanort. The Abyssal with a Mirror Universe. What the hell? 6 mana, tap, sacrifice Mirror Universe, exchange life totals with target opponent, play this ability only during your upkeep. Really? What a weird card. It doesn't even cost anything, but I can only do it at my upkeep. I guess, how does that work? Just trying to figure out, like, can I exchange life totals when I get to 0? But I guess not. Yeah, that in theory can gain some life. Mirror Universe is a classic. Reverse the Sands. We did this. I think this has been suggested 12 times today. 12 times. All right, let's, Darth has been here from the beginning. Fire, Song, and Sun Speaker. Six mana. For a 4/6 Minotaur Cleric. Red instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. That's insane. And whenever a white instant or sorcery spell causes you to gain life, Fire Song and Sun Speaker deal 3 damage to target creature or player. So, okay, so whenever a white instant or sorcery spell causes you... So if I play a white spell, I gain life. Effectively, that's basically Lightning Helix. That's how it's working around here. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Guess there wasn't so many cards in Lifegain that are super expensive. Wizards know you're not going to be paying any mana for them. Like, how expensive can Lifegain get around here? All right, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or use Super Chat to be part of the show, or use Super Chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks everyone who was here today to make the show what it is today. People like Chris Bonehead, the Abyssal, Christopher B, Eris, Jonathan. We got Hamad, the Emrakul. We have the Emrakul here. Blessing with her presence. Eris, Manuel, Merciless, Steve Cooper, Jess, Zob King, Trevor, Kano, Darth Plagueis, Brandon Hall, Jay, and the Merciless. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. And as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.